Y'all stay with me on this one. So the baby boomers and the Gen X's, our parents and grandparents, are always saying this generation's so lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. Why would we? Because look at what the system has done us. We're burnout. Gen Zs don't want to work because they see how burnout the millennials are because they can't get ahead in today's world. Okay? Y'all come from a society where you worked, you could afford a house, you could afford a family, you could take your family on vacation, you had a nice car, and you worked 40 hours a week. Off every weekend. Now what's even crazier to me is you got people that are making $100,000, $120,000, $150,000 a year that can't afford a house because houses are $100,000 houses now $400,000. They can't even get approved for it. Then you got kids that the Gen X is pushing college. So these kids go to college. Then they get out of college. For one, if they can even find work, they find work. It's a good paying job. But now student loans eating up their paycheck. So what's the sense? If we can't get ahead in life, no wonder nobody wants to work. No wonder Gen Z don't want to work. They're burnt out. Millennials are burnt out. It's a failing system that has failed us miserably. That's the difference between the baby boomers and Gen X and millennials and Gen Z.
Every generation gets labeled eventually. Boomers called Gen X cynical. Gen X called millennials entitled. And now millennials and boomers are calling Gen Z lazy, unmotivated, and allergic to work. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. People don't stop working hard when effort stops paying off. What we're seeing isn't laziness, it's exhaustion caused by a system that no longer rewards participation. This conversation isn't about feelings, it's about math. And the math simply isn't mathing anymore.
If you're a high schooler in 2025, you're genuinely fucked, like just completely screwed. I don't think a generation, especially of men, has ever been set up more poorly than the young guys today. You're in an education system that was designed for America really 100 years ago. You're like right at the cusp of the generation that's going to get really fucked by AI. And then you got the 14-year-olds driving supercars in your fucking face every day. You got the same insecurities that every young dude ever had, except now the solution that you're learning is to hit your face with a hammer or put all your money on shitcoins or become a streamer. These kids are so fucked and their parents do not have a clue. And the content creators that you're listening to when really you should be going to church or talking to your grandparents, but like they don't have your best interests at heart at all. And they're selling you a fucking dream. They're just as lost as you are. There's literally no spiritual leadership in this country at all. And 99% of content is either fucking brain rot or some jackass trying to sell you a fake lifestyle so you buy his course. And the actual true tenets of happiness and fulfillment are completely lost in passing or are being taught to you by people that have no clue how to apply that to 2025. So like your teacher might be really good morally and really well-intentioned and just have no fucking clue how to teach you how to navigate snapping a girl back, how to start an online business. Nah, you're fucking cooked. And then the dudes that actually know how to run the game are just trying to make a quick buck off you. You're genuinely fucked. People talk about how the boomers fuck Gen Z. Nah, they really fuck Gen whatever we call you guys now. My honest advice, if I were to give advice like big brother, a high school kid right now, it would be become self-reliant, so go into the trades or learn an online business skill. Join a family business if possible. Find God, find some kind of religion, meditation. You got to find a way to battle the negative thoughts that are going to be inevitable. And take everything that the adults around you say with a grain of salt, because college might have been the surefire thing when they were coming up. Nah, bro, the way the economy is going to look in 5 years when you graduate college, nah, that's not a $300,000 bet that I want to take. Become self-reliant as quickly as possible, meaning learn how to fend for yourself in this world, how to think for yourself, consume content from people that you actually look up to. Guard your own mental space, like so seriously. It's very easy to get polluted. I was in high school going up on the bodybuilding.com forums, all kinds of toxic, crazy stuff I had to unlearn. And this is a pretty doomer video, but every individual can individually get themselves on the right path. Don't expect your school to save you. Don't expect your parents to save you. Don't expect anyone to save you. If you take your life seriously at a young age, which to be fair, throughout human history, men have had to do at a younger age than you are right now. You actually can be much more than okay. You can do great. But that is really the message of the video, is to take this into your own hands. Don't care how old you are. Don't care what kind of antiquated laws people set up to try to keep young people like you out of power, out of being able to empower yourself. You got to save you, my boy. Follow for more sauce.
Gen Z can't afford to move out of their childhood bedrooms. And this is not theoretical. This is now the Wall Street Journal reporting on this. And it's being echoed in my comments like this one. I love being 26 years old, having a full-time job and a master's degree, and still living at my parents' house. Our parents built their lives in an economy where one job and one mortgage could secure a home. Now, Gen Z graduates at the top of their class are sending out hundreds of job applications, getting a full-time job, and still are not able to make enough to move out of their parents' house. Because rent, unexpected expenses, and healthcare costs are draining every cent from paychecks before the next month even starts. Even the parents are reporting the same thing to the Wall Street Journal. There is no way that she could afford to move out. Housing costs are skyrocketing. Healthcare is a financial trap. Entry-level jobs are demanding years of experience, and wages are just not keeping pace. So from a very honest perspective, young adults are not failing, but the system is definitely failing them.
Gen Z have no reason to believe that they're ever going to have economic security. I don't know about you, but I'm old enough that when I was in college, I thought for sure I'm going to have more money than my parents. And that if I work very, very hard, I'm going to buy a house someday. And this was the assumption. And a lot of Gen Z just saying, I'm not even sure we're all going to be alive in 20 years because of global warming. And the world is probably going to end anyway because of the stupidity of decisions your generation's made. It's just it's very, very hard. Right. Okay. And so I think that it comes out looking in a way that we don't understand how this sort of place of vulnerability and sadness that it's kind of coming from.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
We got to cut the millennials and Gen Z some slack because this isn't ordinary. They are moving the goalposts so quickly on the middle class because of the housing. Even that slide you just brought up, someone making $77,000 cannot qualify for a $400,000 home. That's the first time that's ever happened in the past 50 years. So they're being forced to rent. It's eating up 50% of their income.
50+% say we're in a recession. 58% say the economy is getting worse. It's not. By all objective measures, it's getting better. People keep feeling worse. Why is that?
I think it depends on the age, because I think we're kind of living in two separate economies, if you will. Because if you're somebody who's over 60 years old, if you have a $400,000 home and you have just property taxes and homeowner insurance for $600 a month, that is significantly better than a millennial or Gen Z or spending $2,500 for rent or $3,600 for a mortgage. So I think people under 40 are really feeling the stress about the economy, saying it's not good because housing's up, college is up, daycare is through the roof. But I think people over 60 who sit back and go, my 401k is looking good, my house went up 40%, the economy's doing well, groceries are high, but we can deal. So I think it just depends on the age, because the millennials and Gen Zs are the ones really struggling.
My Gen Z students know that they are absolutely cooked when it comes to this economy, this job market. They talk about it all the time. And I think partly being that self-aware of what's going on, whether it's through their parents or social media or whatever it might be, but knowing that the US is heading into dismal times is really where a lot of this lack of motivation to do things is coming from. I often hear it in class when we talk about many different things, but the reoccurring underlying issue is they know that the future that they're heading into is not great. And because of that, I can see some of the systemic underlying lack of motivation, which is just unfortunate, but that's where I think we're at.
I'm Gen Z. We're probably the most fucked up generation of all time. We've seen a lot of stuff. We've been through a lot of stuff. We went to college online. We graduated. We're like, yeah, there's no jobs. Also, you're 100K in debt, and good luck affording groceries. And also, you go online every day, and you're just going to watch a bunch of people doing better than you. So take that what you will. We're going to have to just move in the vans and, travel the country and travel the world. And it's just going to be two groups, people who are making money online and people living in vans. And boy, am I going to be in a van, and it's going to be sick.
They cooked our generation from the start. They told us to go to college and then we'll be able to get a job and have a family and be able to afford things, which was a complete lie. You get out of college, you're in so much debt. I hear people talking about being $100,000 plus in debt, which is crazy. And you just got to go get a job to pay that debt back. You can't afford a home. The mortgage rates are crazy. Even if you can secure the mortgage, you got to pay that for 30 years. Are you going to be able to do that while jobs are just randomly laying people off? Who knows? Both people have to work a full-time job, sometimes a full-time and a part-time job, or do a little side hobby. So who's going to be able to have children? Because then you're going to have to pay for childcare. Nobody's really raising their children. Social media and the schools are raising their children. The government. And then they told us a few years ago to just stay in the house and miss out on all our socializing and connecting with people. For years, they just said stay in the house and be afraid. Watch the news. Just stay in the house. Don't do nothing. Don't go outside. Don't do anything. They cooked us, bro. Everything about it is just extreme cookage. It's wild.
So, I didn't realize how bad the job economy was until I became unemployed because of a car accident I got into because of the job, and I got paid from them. But since then, that happened about 4 months ago. I've been applying for different jobs. It got to the point I applied. Everything happened up in Atlanta, the accident. So I moved back down here to Tampa because I couldn't find a job up there. The economy, nobody was hiring. Came down here. I'm like, I know a couple of jobs I can work at that's guaranteed to give me a job. They have this thing in Port in Tampa where you can pick up day laborers, pick up work easy. They just pick you up and it's always work. There's about 15 people waiting to get picked up to work. And I'm over here like, bro, McDonald's rejected my application. Not rejected, but I did the interview, but I haven't heard nothing back. I legit can't find a job. I have applied for, if I had to guess, I say it was somewhere around 30 to 36 applications online. But physically, going there within a mile radius of my area, nobody's hiring. I done went up the block, down the block. Everybody's saying no, nobody's hiring. How do you expect me to have income and pay off government debt if nobody's giving jobs? Now, you see what I really thought people meant by the unemployment people. They're just not looking for jobs. No. Buddy, I have security license and a DOT license. I'm kind of certified to drive trucks, but not the semi trucks, the smaller trucks. But I'm certified to drive. I'm struggling with those two certifications under my belt. Whew. But my main goal is I want to move to LA to pursue my acting a little bit because I did pretty good in Atlanta, but it's I want to expand more in LA, but it's I can easily get a job. Let me just go find one. No. This job economy is actually horrible now. Anybody having a job is pretty lucky at this point. I'm just bro, what type of reality are you in? Y'all keep saying America's great, but McDonald's just didn't want to hire me. This is a great economy? Huh. Interesting.
Gen Z, if you've ever been called lazy, this one is for you. Why is Gen Z so lazy? Why does Gen Z cry about being burnt out? Okay, Susan, let's talk about it. We got handed the millennial economy, but somehow, worse, home ownership has turned into more of a fantasy than a reality for most of us. We have lived through more historical events than the last 3 generations did by their mid-20s. The younger Gen Z among us literally fear for their lives just going to school. The job market is giving 2008 vibes. We're on track to be the most educated generation ever, and yet most of us still can't get jobs that align with our degrees. And don't even get me started on student loans. So the next time that you wonder why Gen Z is so burnt out, ask yourself, why do dogs bark? And why do babies cry?
Older generations grew up in an economy where work led somewhere. You worked 40 hours a week, had weekends off, bought a home, raised a family, and still had money left over to live your life. That wasn't a fantasy. It was normal. Fast forward to now, and you have people making 6 figures who still can't qualify for a modest home. Houses that once cost $100,000 are now pushing $400,000. Rent eats up nearly half of people's income. Wages didn't rise with inflation, but expectations sure did. So when younger generations look around and realize that working full-time doesn't guarantee stability, motivation naturally collapses. That's not entitlement, that's pattern recognition.
Yeah, Gen Z might actually be cooked. Older generations will talk about how unrealistic the expectations of the people born between 1997 and 2012 are. Their expectations around work-life balance, their desired career paths of things like being an influencer, and arguably most importantly, their financial expectations. A survey was conducted to ask 2,000 Americans what they think is the minimum salary to be considered financially successful. Now, before I show you the results, what would you answer? Now, obviously, it depends on if you have a family or if you live in a high cost of living area. But in general, in America, what is the minimum salary to be considered financially successful? Take a look at these results. One of these is clearly not like the other. Gen Z said that the minimum salary to be considered financially successful is $587,000. Hopefully, I don't have to explain how insane that number is. Now, I'm not against people trying to become financially successful. I actually encourage it. Nor am I against people having high expectations for themselves. But if I said that the minimum threshold for me to be considered successful at basketball was to play in the NBA, then I am setting myself up for disappointment. Gen Zs are just now starting to enter the workforce, and well below 10% of all those Gen Zs will ever see a salary even close to this number. This is likely a product of social media giving an entire generation very unrealistic expectations about their future. And I think this is probably a lot of the reason why Gen Zs are looking towards more alternative career paths or money-making techniques that are so-called moonshot activities. Because in their mind, if the threshold for success is $600,000, there are very few traditional career paths that will ever get you close to that. And so they feel the only way to get there is by doing incredibly risky things, and will fall for so-called get-rich-quick schemes. It's already starting to happen as we see Gen Zs on social media complaining about the 9-to-5 life. But I think in the coming years, we're only going to see more Gen Zs crushed by the weight of reality from their sky-high expectations. Just something I found interesting. Now follow me for more content.
You know what? I am 34 years old. I have a bachelor's degree from Penn State in communications, and I can't get a fucking job at a grocery store. 3 interviews, 3 rounds to be a fucking janitor. This is how I show up. But there's a better candidate. I'm 34 years old with so much work experience. But you mean to tell me? So I called the store and asked her why. Could she please give me some feedback? I needed to be more detailed with my answers. The fucking question was, you're about to be on break for 15 minutes and a customer stops you and asks you to help them find the bread. I said I would gladly help them find the bread and then proceed with my break. How much more detail do you need? She also asked me another question. If someone was having a hard time finding something and they didn't know, they were about to leave the store because they're so frustrated, I said I would have them ask if they're tech savvy to download the app, show them exactly how to type in what they're looking for, and it'll pull up the aisle that it's in. How could I be any more direct? I would tell them, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time. Here, let me see if maybe this can help you. Said that. How is that not fucking detailed? I quit. I'm gonna be a bum. Fuck you.
So everybody in Gen Z, I'm scared for us, genuinely, because it just seemed like everything went to shit with us, and I mean everything. Like, first of all, the economy fucking sucks. Like, our parents was out the crib by this age. Okay, I'm 23. I think my mom already had her first apartment by now. And I mean, I really could if I hustled a little harder, but I feel like I'm gonna have to hustle like 5 times as hard as she probably had to back in the day. Then, I don't care what y'all say, but the fucking music sucks. Like, we listen to it because it's hot garbage. Hear me when I say hot garbage. But the 80s and 90s music is what I prefer. Like, that's when music was good. Even I would say the early 2000s to probably up around 2015 is when music was good. Anything after that, shit, right? Then, oh my God, love? Do we even know what love is anymore? Everybody cheating. Nobody want to be loyal. Nobody wants to be genuine. Everybody fucking. Hella hookup culture. But everybody claim they want love. Everybody claim they want love, but everybody out here acting like a hoe. Yeah, it's raps for us. Marriage, you know, we're having hella babies out of wedlock. Marriage is just not even a thing for us no more. I barely even hear our age talk about marriage. Tradition is gone. Like, we don't want to be traditional. We don't like to listen to shit anybody got to say to us. Like, Gen Z is just, I'm really scared for us, because Lord, for the generation after us, God bless them, because we already done for.
I'm gonna keep this shit at 100, bro. I ain't gonna lie, as a generation, gang, we is cooked. Like, us Gen Zers, gang, we are fucking cooked, nigga. I swear to God, like, nigga, we fucked. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is cause, like, just so much shit just going wrong, gang. So much shit going wrong. And, like, you know what I'm saying? The shit with the economy and how the world, you know what I'm saying? The shit Trump doing in office, you feel me? Goddamn people, the way people act, gang. Like, I'm gonna keep it so 100, bro. I feel like this generation, we barely gonna have marriages like that. I'm gonna keep that shit real, bro. I feel like we barely gonna have marriages. You know what I'm saying? We in a toxic ass generation, gang. Like, you feel me? Relationships barely work in this generation now. You know what I'm saying? Then it's just like, bro, it's just so much shit. Like, motherfuckers ain't really loyal. You know what I'm saying? Shit. The females in this generation, we cook, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot wrong with niggas too, bro. It's a lot wrong with niggas too. I could really go on about that shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause nowadays, you feel me, niggas would rather do this than get to that, you know what I'm saying? Get to the money and shit like that. Niggas would rather, nowadays, bro, niggas would rather kill niggas, backdoor their own homies and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And do the shit all on camera. You feel me? Then go get some money and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, bro, we got females out here who just think they can just get everything they want. You know what I'm saying? Expect niggas to just trick on them, do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Deal with they bullshit, not take accountability for anything that they do, and not bring shit to the table. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like nowadays we got motherfuckers getting burnt. Nowadays, gang, it's normal for motherfuckers to have babies at 16, 17, shit, probably a little younger than that. Now, I ain't gonna lie, like that part really, like, that shit is crazy, gang. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I be getting to a point, I be thinking I'm like one of the last young niggas left to not have a kid at an early age and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many people I went to school with, bro. So many girls that I went to school with, bro, that's pregnant now or about to have babies and shit like that, gang. Like, really, and it's like, this is the new norm. You know what I'm saying? It's the new normal. Then it's like, bro, the cost of everything getting high, bro. Shit getting more expensive as we live. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, gang, like, I'm talking about from gas prices, nigga, food, rent. You know what I'm saying? So much shit just going up, bro. Like, nigga, I remember one time, bro, I had went to the Quick Trip, bro. I had went to the store, you feel me? Like, I had to get me a little, you know what I'm saying? I had the munchies. I wanted to get me a little something to eat. Nigga, I went to go get a big ass bag. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might think I'm fat for this, bro. I went to go get a big ass family size bag of chips, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, I remember back then, a big ass bag of chips used to be like $3, like some Doritos or something, gang. Shit used to be like $3 or something like that. Nigga, a big ass bag of chips now, bro, it's like $6. Nigga, with $6, you can go get a Little Caesars pizza. Shit crazy as fuck, gang. Then it's just like now, bro, especially with social media and shit like that, like, we are so cooked as a generation, bro. It's like a lot of people are just in a fucked up ass mindset now. Like, everybody wanna, I don't know, gang. And then shit all be a popularity contest, bro. Like, everybody really just doing shit just to goddamn get views or whatever. I don't know what the fuck we doing in this generation, gang. Like, we just cook, bro. We are just fucked as a generation. That's why I really stay away from a lot of shit, and why I don't, you know what I'm saying, entertain certain shit, because this is like, I can't deal with that shit, gang. Like, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be fucking around with none of the bullshit everybody else got going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to worry about me and I'm trying to elevate in life, bro. But that's why it's like, man, this generation, bro, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta do you. That's really the best thing you can do, bro. Cause you see what's going on in the world. You feel me? You see what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? You see what the hell going on with you know what I'm saying, shit in the office and the law, you know what I'm saying? And then the people, these niggas, these females, bro. It's so much fucked up shit going on. And you know what I'm saying? And the shit just won't end, gang. This shit just won't end, bro. Like, even with me making videos talking about certain shit, gang, I'm already knowing shit still gonna be going on. You feel me? Like, it's just a fucked up ass world out here, bro. Y'all niggas be easy though, man. Cause shit crazy, bro. But hey, man, y'all like, comment, follow for more content.
So I'm 21 years old, and there's sort of a huge problem in our generation that no one really talks about. We just completely are prioritizing convenience over interaction and experience. And we're just going to keep seeing this problem grow and grow with all these new technologies and apps. I'm just going to list out examples so you know what I'm talking about. So instead of going outside and trying to meet people, we use Tinder. Instead of going to a movie theater, we watch Netflix. Instead of riding a bike or walking outside, we get on a treadmill or we buy a Peloton. We DoorDash food instead of driving like 10 minutes to a restaurant and speaking to another human. When we want information, we go to YouTube or TikTok. You know, we don't read about it. We don't go and talk to people and ask about it. I mean, we can literally do everything from our homes. It's kind of crazy. And I'm not saying it's bad to do the other things, but the reason that I'm sort of scared for our generation is that we're going to get so comfortable with using technology that we are just going to not even know how to talk to people anymore. And we're going to be so scared to get outside of our houses. We're not forced to go do things for ourselves. You can make money off your phone. You can get information from your phone. You can get food from your phone. You can get entertainment. You can get a girlfriend from your phone. Like, it's crazy. And while some of it is nice, I just think it's important to recognize that and make sure you're still getting real experiences and interactions with other humans.
You want to know why millennials are tired? And we even put Gen Z in this one. You want to know why we're tired, why we're burnt out? Because we're working 40 to 50 hours a week and have nothing to show for it. And no, it's not because we're paying $25 gym memberships a month, and it's not because we're getting $7 coffees a day. It's because inflation is up 25%. Rent prices are up 40%, okay? We can't save money because we have to spend literally every dime of every single paycheck just to live, just to survive. And the sad part is you have millennials with degrees, Gen X with degrees, that are still living with roommates, they're still living with their parents, that are making $70,000, $80,000 a year. Can you imagine making $400,000 over a 5-year span? Looking back on that 5 years and being like, damn, I have nothing to show for it. I couldn't save to buy that house that I'm expected to buy. I couldn't save to start a family because I can't afford children. There are literally millennials and Gen Z that are not having children because they just refuse because of finances. Because we're in our 30s, again, living with roommates and mom and dad, trying to save money to start a family, to be able to give the family that we start everything that they deserve. And we can't do it. So it's not that we're lazy. It's not that we're entitled. It's the world that we live in now is completely different from the world our parents and our grandparents grew up in. We're working our asses off and feel like we have nothing to show for it. And it's fucking exhausting.
I'm a firm believer that my generation's fucking sauteed. I don't know if you guys seen the trend where it's like, oh, the job that slowly drains you, and it's a girl working at Subway crying in the mirror. Like, our generation is so fucking soft. I don't know why. I don't know if it's from participation trophies growing up or just fucking TikTok and Instagram just making us weak. But we are so fucking soft to the point where a regular 9 to 5 is draining you to the point where you like want to die. It's ridiculous. I get it. Jobs are hard. Like, I've complained about my job, but I've never been like, oh, I want to die because my job is hard. Like, no one likes working. It sucks, but you have to work to fucking live. And like, what are you going to do when you're 30 and you have a family to provide for, a house to fucking pay? Like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit there and cry and be like, oh, this job's draining me. I'm just going to cry in the fucking bathroom at work. Like, you can't do that. You're just going to have to suck it up.
For decades, college was sold as the safest investment you could make. Go to school, get a degree, and everything else will fall into place. That promise no longer exists. Today, students graduate with massive debt, enter a job market that demands years of experience for entry-level pay, and then get told they're irresponsible for struggling. Student loans quietly drain paychecks before rent, groceries, or healthcare even enter the picture. So when Gen Z questions whether college is worth a 6-figure gamble in a rapidly changing economy, that isn't rebellion, it's risk assessment. At the same time, social media created an entirely new problem. Young people aren't just comparing themselves to their peers, they're comparing themselves to viral outliers. Teenagers driving supercars, influencers selling courses, people claiming financial freedom by 23. That constant exposure doesn't inspire most people. It destabilizes them. It pushes young adults toward risky shortcuts, unrealistic expectations, and the belief that if they're not wildly successful early, they've failed entirely. The result is burnout before adulthood even begins. Here's where the disconnect really happens. We're living in two different economies at the same time. If you're over 60, you likely bought your home years ago, watched your assets grow, and feel relatively insulated from today's chaos. If you're under 40, housing, childcare, rent, and healthcare are constant stressors that never stop climbing. So when older generations say the economy is fine, younger generations hear the economy is fine for you. That gap in lived experience fuels resentment, confusion, and blame, when the real issue is structural. Motivation dies when effort doesn't translate into progress. When someone works 5 years straight, earns hundreds of thousands collectively, and still ends up with debt instead of security, burnout becomes inevitable. This isn't about coffee habits or gym memberships. It's about shrinking purchasing power, rising living costs, and moving goalposts that make stability feel unreachable. People aren't refusing to work, they're refusing to run on a treadmill that goes nowhere. Here's the part that matters most. While the system is failing many people, waiting for it to fix itself isn't an option. Self-reliance is no longer optional, it's essential. That doesn't mean abandoning education entirely, but it does mean thinking strategically. Trades, online skills, entrepreneurship, family businesses, and multiple income streams matter more than ever. So does protecting your mental space, filtering the content you consume, and learning to think independently. No institution is coming to save this generation, not schools, not employers, not politicians. But individuals can still build something meaningful if they take ownership early, stay adaptable, and stop measuring success by outdated standards. Gen Z isn't lazy. Millennials aren't weak. They're responding logically to an economy that no longer rewards blind obedience. And once you understand that, the conversation finally makes sense.